Welcome to When Europe Cooperates, a podcast by Interreg Europe. Our program supports European policymakers to connect, helping them get inspiration from other European regions facing similar policy challenges. In this podcast, we are featuring success stories from our program. Interreg Europe is co-financed by the European Union. Hi, my name is Hannah, and I'm a communication officer at Interreg Europe. Today, I'm bringing you a story from the Belgian city of Roeselare, where an old post office has been transformed into a vibrant community hub. I hopped on a train in Lille and went to Roeselare to see the community hub with my own eyes to tell you more about it. You might not have heard of Roeselare before. It's a relatively small city in the Flemish region of Belgium. Roeselare used to be known for its industry. However, it is now dealing with a post-industrial transition. This transition hasn't been easy. One major issue has to do with shifting demographics linked to an aging population and brain drain. The city of Roeselare got the idea for the community hub as a way to respond to these demographic challenges. The community hub is called the RSL Op Post. Before I take you to the RSL Op Post with me, let's dive more into the issues small to medium-sized cities like Roeselare are dealing with today.
First of all, I would like to define what are small and medium-sized cities.
This is Arnault Morisson, a thematic expert here at Interreg Europe who's written about the RSL Op Post.
So in Europe, we usually define them as urban areas with around 5,000 to 50,000 inhabitants. And they are located outside large metropolitan areas. These small, medium-sized cities, they face a number of unique structural challenges compared to large metropolitan areas.
These cities might be economically vulnerable. For example, their economy might rely on one big company as an employer, or they might be more limited in terms of administration and have less access to important funding. They might also suffer from weaker connections to national and global networks. And, just like Roeselare, small and medium-sized cities are often facing challenges with their demographics. There tend to be less opportunities in these cities, so a lot of young people move away, causing a brain drain. Therefore, the populations there are often older. Amid these challenges, though, these cities also have strengths that bigger cities just don't have.
I want to stress that they also have a lot of strength. The smaller size allows for close-knit communities, strong trust between actors, and a shared sense of identity. So this, of course, can enable faster decision-making, stronger collaboration, and more agile local leadership.
Strong collaboration and local leadership. These strengths have helped the RSL Op Post community hub thrive in Roeselare. The RSL Op Post is only about a 10-minute walk from the city center. The building is impossible to miss. It was originally built as a post office in the 90s.
Well, it's a building built in 1991, and it's a little bit of modernistic, brutalistic style with a lot of glass and steel and concrete, and it's big. It's like 5,000 square meters and 2,000 square meters roof, and it's a post office. It's nothing else. It's like built like a post office. Also, it's really hard here. One of the challenges here is to do something else with this building.
That voice you're hearing, that's Christophe. He gave me a very warm welcome to the RSL Op Post.
My name is Christophe Swyngedauw. I work for the city of Roeselare, and I have the opportunity to be the manager, the coordinator of RSL Op Post.
When I arrived, the first thing I noticed was a group of children running around. They were having tons of fun, laughing, talking to one another, playing. When we got here today, we saw that there were lots of kids running around. And so could you explain a little bit what was happening?
Every Wednesday, once a month, we make the connection between children and parents of vulnerable families. And they want to connect them and also learn the Dutch language.
The city of Roeselare decided to build the RSL Op Post essentially to provide services like this for the people in the city. Christophe told me that there were three main challenges the city wanted to address with the community hub. First of all, they wanted to create a service model that brought people together for common activities. 2, they wanted to fight loneliness in the city. And 3, they wanted to bring different organizations from Roeselare together in one space. Can you talk to us a little bit about the different organizations and the different projects that are happening in the building?
There are 35 different organizations who are doing their thing here and about 150 volunteers. I think you can put it in 4 domains. It's like organizations of well-being, organizations of circular economy, organizations who do entrepreneurship, and the last one about culture.
These volunteers and organizations are all part of the life that keeps the RSL Op Post running. At the beginning, the RSL Op Post was mostly targeted towards supporting vulnerable groups in the city. Then, the city decided to shift its approach to add a bit of diversity to the space.
We want to reach the vulnerable target group, but also people who are creative and a little bit progressive, and that can make this place a little bit vivid. And like this, we want to reach every citizen in Roeselare, not only those 2 groups, but with that atmosphere, we want to go and attract other people also.
Do you have any other numbers to reflect the success of the initiative so far? Like, for example, how many people visit the hub daily or how many activities take place every year?
The numbers of 2024 were like there was 120 visitors a day here and about annually 700 activities here.
While in Roeselare, I got to talk to one of the volunteers who comes monthly to the hub.
I'm Joris and I'm the secretary of Repair Café Roeselare. Repair Café is a known concept. It's a place where people come together and try to repair things that are broken. We do repair electronics, bicycles, laptops. We even sharpen knives and hedge trimmers like that. So we found a place where we like to be here in RSL Op Post. And it's been a very good thing for us to have a place where we feel at home.
Can you explain a little bit about why you wanted to start volunteering at the Repair Café?
My first incentive was I like to repair things. I'm the father of 3 children who cause a lot of damage. And I like to try to repair things if possible. As grandparents, I'm a grandparent now, we have the mission to restore all the damage we have done causing climate change. And I think that Repair Café has a very important role in doing so, not only in creating another mindset, but also the results are measurable. So as a grandparent, I feel a little bit more at ease if my grandchildren ask me, Grandpa, what did you do to better in the struggle to counter climate change?
Joris told me that he noticed that all of the volunteers share a similar passion for what they're doing at the Repair Café.
They're all very convinced of the fact that they have to do this on a practically totally voluntarily basis. And we don't have only citizens of Roeselare who come to Repair Café, but also people who came from other countries, speak other languages. They practice their Nederlands, the Vlaams. They practice social skills in meeting people and trying to help them. We have people from Ukraine, from Turkey, from Iraq, and it's wonderful to see the trajectory they make here as people who are trying to incorporate themselves in the society of Roeselare.
As you can tell, the Repair Café has helped Joris not only to feel that he's participating in a fight against climate change, but also that he's an active member in his community. And the Repair Café is only one of the many initiatives at the RSL Op Post. Right now, the RSL Op Post is developing 3 new projects. They're working on bringing catering into the space, building a market for the circular economy, selling things that people like Joris are fixing at the Repair Café, and then they will eventually be constructing a roof garden.
We had an ID exercise with 40 stakeholders, and we asked 2 questions to those stakeholders. What are the needs of the town, and what is the need that RSL Post can resolve? So those were the 2 questions. And with those answers, we made the 3 concepts. As a city, we want to facilitate and we want to give the building back to the people and that the people can manage what's happening in the building. That's the main thing we want to do here. That's a good thing. It's a good thing that people claim the city.
If you're a policymaker listening to this podcast, maybe you're wondering, how can community hubs like this one help policymakers meet their own goals? Let's hear again from our thematic expert, Arnault.
What is interesting with the RSL Op Post is that it creates a kind of anchor space within the city, allowing everyone to meet, but it's not only the public sector, citizens, organizations, associations. So it really creates the central point in the city where everyone can meet, thus improving trust, collaboration, transparency in decision making. So this is why it's such important to have such a space in small, medium-sized cities that everybody knows about, where everyone is welcome and where everyone can meet and discuss specific challenges in small, medium-sized cities in order to find the right solutions.
At Interreg Europe, we're all about transferring good practices and helping other regions learn from one another. Can you explain what are the transferable aspects of the RSL Op Post and how could other cities open a similar community hub?
When we think about the role of policymaking here and why it's such a good practice for Interreg Europe, it really shows the importance of public leadership in enabling such ecosystems through collective actions. For instance, what they can do is find the existing infrastructures, so using heritage or vacant buildings, to create such an anchor space or third place for the community. They have to think about how to cluster missions within the same space. So by bringing diverse organizations with shared social goals in order to foster synergies between those organizations. And it's also about prioritizing coordination. So recognizing that the building is just the shell. The real infrastructure is the trust and coordination between the actors inside. So again, what I want to stress here is that the key success factor is not the building itself, is not RSL Op Post building, but it's the collaboration, the trust, and the coordination between the actors.
And on that note, let's hear one last thing from Christophe about the importance of community.
People are proud of here in the city. Yeah, it's about ownership. People own things. That's why we want to give the building back to the citizen. If people own things, they're proud about it because they've done it themselves. It's not the city who said, you have to do it like this. You have to know they've done it themselves.
We'd like to thank Christophe, Joris, and Arnault for sharing the RSL Op Post story with us. This good practice comes from the Interreg project, co-financed by the European Union within the Interreg Europe program. Interreg aims to improve the quality of life in small and medium-sized cities through enhanced revitalization and regeneration strategies. 7 partners from 6 European countries have come together to work on this. Did this story inspire you? Maybe you can do something similar in your own country or region. Head to our website to explore more good practices on various topics. Do you have an inspiring story to share about your region? Drop us a line and suggest the topic for the next episode. Interreg Europe is here to help you find new ideas on how to solve your region's policy challenges.